is if you oh, I've got to click something. Right. The easiest way to see transfiguration, if you can't see anything, is just squint your eyes up a little bit and just pan them across my face, and you should be able to see transfiguration. What trance is where the spirit communicator, the spirit guide, steps deep into my aura and becomes the dominant consciousness within my aura. My consciousness steps to one side. Okay. And tonight's going to be about philosophy and teaching and maybe some Q&A if my guys decide that they want that. But that's basically what happens with transfiguration and trance. I consider every trance demonstration that I do as developmental, so I don't know what's going to happen tonight, what they're going to say, what they're going to do, even if they're going to come along at all. All right. But I know my guides want to give some teaching and answer some questions and answers. This is not a mediumship evening, okay? But I have asked if loved ones want to show themselves and if loved ones want to speak, that they can, but it will be mainly for philosophy and teaching. What you may see is transfiguration. You may see your own loved ones. You may see spirit guides. I think I've got to turn the red light up a bit. And that's better. And you may see like green and white lights around me. You may see people standing beside me. There's usually someone standing to my right or someone who's standing to my left. You may see faces appear around me. Okay. And there's a little bit of phenomena that I call the opera singer. And I sort of like, my head is pulled back and I sort of go like that. What that is the spirit communicators getting used to my voice box so that they can speak. If it's one of my guides that come through regularly, they're used to my voice box. So please don't think that anything weird's going on. It's just my spirit guides getting used to my voice box. And I'm also always telling people you get out of spirit communication what you put into it. Okay. So if you can send out your love to spirit, my spirit communicators, that will create more energy for spirit to be able to communicate through me. And as always, I will do an opening prayer to invite spirit in, to welcome spirit. And then I'll do my little countdown, my inner countdown for myself. And hopefully go into trance. If nothing's happening in 10 minutes, don't worry about it, because it usually takes half an hour to 3/4 of an hour for my guides to blend into my aura. Okay. But during that time, there should be transfiguration. Anyway, folks, if we can all join together in prayer, please. This is our time with spirit. Oh, and what I forgot to tell you is that my fingers tend to get a bit longer when I'm in trance, okay? But anyway, if we could join together, this is our time with spirit. And if we can come together in the peace of this moment, touch this moment with love, then it will make it much easier for spirit to draw closer to us. Great Spirit of light and love, angels, guides, loved ones, we ask for your love and your protection to be around myself, this cabinet, my wife and my home. I ask for love and protection to be placed around all who are sitting here on this Zoom tonight. We ask for you to draw close to us this evening. We ask for your love, your guidance and your teachings. And as always, I ask, Great Spirit, that whatever's said or done here tonight may it be done in love, truth and in sincerity. And all that receive and all that is given may be done for the greatest and highest good. Amen. I forgot to say that my guides like to channel healing through me as well. So if you're feeling a bit under the weather, healing's for everything. It's mind, body, and spirit. So if you're ill, or if you're feeling a bit under the weather or a bit down, just sit back and relax and watch and allow the healing energies to come through you. Anyway, God bless you all. I'll do my little countdown now and see what happens. Okay, bless you. Sorry, somebody started phoning me up on thing. I'm going to have to come out, sorry, and turn all my sounds off. Very sorry, hang on. I can still stay on. Very sorry, folks. I'm going to have to try again. Right. I am sung, and I thank you for inviting me into this sacred space. We come to you with love, compassion, and healing. Never doubt that we in spirit are far away. All life is energy. All life is what you term as vibration and frequency. Your earth plane and yourselves are vibration and frequency. And we can draw close whenever we need to, whenever we hear your call, whenever we choose to visit you. You may ask, how come this earth plane, this world of matter, this physical body, myself, how can it be a vibration? How can it be a frequency? Energy is in many levels of existence, from the most dense as you are in the world, or to the finest, to the highest level of energy, of which you call God, of which you call Source, of which is responsible for the whole of creation. You, my friends, are a part of creation. The human race is a part of creation. Even in your solid, dense level of vibration and frequency. All creation has purpose. You, within yourselves, must know that you have purpose. You have purpose to raise your vibration and your frequency to that what you call God, to that what you call the soul, or to raise your vibration and your frequency to the spirit. Know this, friends, that all life is connected. When you go about your lives with love and kindness and compassion in your minds, in your hearts, and in your deeds, you are helping to raise the vibration of the earth plane and the human race and all life. As I have said, you individually and together are connected to all things, to the earth, the blades of grass, the trees, the mountains, the universe, and to the spirit. May this one truth empower you, and to know that the fabric of all things is love. On many different vibrations, on many different frequencies, on many different levels of understanding. Seek to raise your level of understanding, and in doing so, you raise your vibration, your frequency. Your purpose here as spirit, living in a physical world of matter on the earth plane, is to learn how to love. In your lives on the earth plane, you will encounter many conditions that will, in truth, teach you how to love. Do not respond to your lessons, to your experiences with anger, with bitterness, with regret, with jealousy. Seek the most loving, compassionate answer within yourself to deal with that situation. And in doing so, you're raising the consciousness of all. Know that your life has purpose. There are many on the earth plane that feel broken, that feel confused, feel lost. That are in darkness. Please share your light with them. Let them know that they have purpose, that they have a reason for being, that the trials they go for are there to help them to evolve to a higher state of being. When you face your lessons with anger and with bitterness, with dread and regret, you're wasting the lesson. Open your hearts, open your minds, and ask yourselves, how can I deal with this with love? What is love teaching me to do at this time? I bring you blessings. I bring you the truth that all life is eternal, not just the human race, but all life, your animal kingdom, your flora and fauna, the dirt beneath your feet. It is all on a level of existence. All that you see around you as what you call spirit. It is in its own varying frequencies, such as the human cell, the blade of grass, the dirt, the mountain, cloud, your rivers, your streams, your oceans. All is progressing on a soul level. This may be hard for you all to comprehend, but let me tell you all that in the whole universe, mankind, the human race, is as important as a grain of sand. But know your purpose, know your truth. And you who are awakened to spirit, you who are awakened to eternal life, can raise the consciousness of the human race by embracing your lives with love from within. I say blessings to you all. Many regrets on the earth plane that they do not have time to fulfill their ambitions or their dreams, or they got old too quickly. We understand that life in the physical is short, shorter than a blink of an eye. Become aware that in the truth of your spirit, the truth of your soul, there is no time. You have eternity to fulfill all that you need to fulfill. You are hindered by a brief period of time on the earth where you feel you did not achieve what you needed to achieve, or you blame others for not achieving what you needed to achieve. What we say is, become aware of your eternal self. Become aware of your connection to all things. Allow yourselves to be loved and to love yourselves. This will allow those that inspire you to draw close to us. Know that we take every opportunity to guide you in thought, in feeling, through your intuition. We say unto you all, open your hearts. Many hearts are closed through hurt, worry, and pain. We say, open your hearts. Fill your hearts with love for yourself and all life. Think of yourselves as eternal beings, and you will be guided. There are many that seek guidance from us. We do our best to communicate, but their hearts and their minds are closed, because they do not realize their interconnectedness and the power of the connection that they have with all life. I say blessings to you all. am Red Cloud. Blessings of earth and sky to you all. We are sending you all healing. You may feel tingling in your body. You may feel heat. You may feel cold. Do not worry. This is the healing energy coming to you. Please relax and allow the healing energy to come to you. Are there any questions?
Yes, we have a few questions, Red Cloud. And the first one is from Caroline. She wonders about Atlantis. And her question is, have the people of ancient Atlantis reincarnated back to this earthly lifetime? And she wonders as well if she had the lifetime on Atlantis.
You need to be louder.
Caroline asked the question if the people of ancient Atlantis is reincarnated back to earthly lifetime. And she wonders as well if she had a lifetime of Atlantis.
Very sorry, but my guides have stepped back.
Okay, that happens.
Hello?
But we thank you you and your guides for the lovely messages as well.
I can hardly hear you.
Couldn't you? We had some problems to hear you when you did the trance.
Hang on a minute.
Stephen, I
I
think
can't
that
hear
when
you either.
Sorry?
I think what's happened is when Stephen turned down the notifications, it turned
I'm
down
sorry,
all
I
of the
can't hear you
volumes.
either. I've turned the sound right up on my device. Try that. What were you saying, Eva?
We could barely hear you as well because the sound was very low on the transition.
Oh, blimey, there's something wrong with the sound then.
Yeah, we could hear you, but it was very low sound.
Yeah, I've got the
Yeah.
sound up on my device turned up full now.
Yeah, okay. I
I
didn't
don't
want
know
to
what
disturb
happened
you.
there then.
Yeah, and I didn't want to disturb you at that time, so.
Yeah. Well, hopefully you all got something out of it.
Yeah, it was very interesting, and the messages was that we really need to love each other.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that's good.
it is.
I'm sorry, I'm holding my phone up to my ear so I can hear you.
Oh, that's too bad. But it was a very interesting evening anyway.
Did you see much transfiguration?
Yeah, I could see that. And I have a question for you for your fingers, because you said your hands was growing. And I noticed you have your wedding ring on your finger.
Yeah.
Is that not any problem when your fingers get longer?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem to affect it, but people have told me my fingers get longer.
Yeah, I could see that. So therefore, it was quite significant. So I was worried. So
Yeah,
anyway,
if we was doing like deep trance, like physical, I wouldn't have any metal objects on me at all.
yeah. Do
But
you want me,
this is just trance.
yeah. Do you want me to ask you the questions now from the audience?
Yeah, we'll try and get some answers out there. I'll
Yes,
ask you guys to feed me the answers.
yeah, you are a very bright man, so you might know the questions anyway. We have Caroline here. She texted here, I would like to ask Stephen a question about Atlantis. Have the people of ancient Atlantis reincarnated back to Atlantis, to this earthly lifetime? Would like to know if she had a lifetime of Atlantis. That was her question.
That's a very good question, actually.
It is because
over my time in spiritualism, I've heard lots about Atlantis. In fact, Atlanteans have been brought through in trance. Okay.
Yeah.
And I feel that there are Atlanteans living amongst us that have led previous lives.
Yeah.
There.
I know that too. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And as far as I'm aware, people are still searching for that place.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think, yeah.
But I would say that with Caroline, she has a real strong connection to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And through that strong connection and what we mediums sometimes call the knowing, I just feel she knows it in her soul that she's led a past life there. Okay. But with that, it's a vibration, it's a frequency, it's an energy, and it's still ongoing. You know what I mean? Atlanteans have, you know, they're still contributing in this life, if you know what I mean. There are those that are aware of it, and I feel Caroline may well be aware of it, okay? But Atlanteans are very much healers. So is she a healer?
Yeah, she's nodding, yes.
Oh, great. All right. Tell her to keep doing her good work. All right. Okay.
Keep doing
And
your
I just
meditation,
feel
Caroline.
also, I want to say to her that she's very empathic. And she has lots of dreams about swimming under the sea. Does that make sense?
Stephen, since you're out of trance now, shall I unmute people so they can speak to you directly?
Yeah, that'll be easier. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi,
If Caroline
Stephen.
wants to speak to me, she can.
Hiya, I'm here.
Oh, hello, Caroline. Sorry, I've got a hold. For some reason, the sound's gone
Hi.
wrong tonight, and I have to hold it up to my ear to hear people. But I want to say there,
Yeah.
I'm getting all this mediumistically now from me guides, but they're saying that you would have dreams of being under the sea. Can you understand that?
I actually have a real phobia of the sea. I hate water.
You hate
I hate
water.
anything. I do actually hate the sea, and yeah, I've got a real phobia of the sea.
That's strange because they're showing me under the water, just sort of like
Mm.
in a vertical position, and there's all this sea life coming around you.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Just floating away.
I'd
I
never
can't
go
hear
on.
you.
I'd never go on a boat. Never.
Okay, well you're no good then, are you? But I can't say go and have a swim, can I? But yeah, with Atlanteans, they're very much healers.
Yeah.
Okay, so follow down that line. They're also very empathic as well.
Right.
Right.
Okay. Thank you.
Caroline, my suggestion about this phobia about the going underwater,
Yeah.
it can be related to something else. So a past life regression might be something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Thank you.
Yeah, I have read things about people who regress that have phobia of water, and it's because they drowned in a past life.
I'm all right. I can swim. I can swim really well, but I just can't stand the sea. If I went in sea, it'd just make me panic.
So you're all right in a swimming pool?
Yeah, I can swim. I can swim really well, but I can't.
Yeah. I just don't
and
understand
going
why they're
to the
showing
water.
me you floating around under the sea. Okay.
Strange.
Okay, shall we take next question?
Yeah.
Is that okay, Caroline? Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Caroline.
Sarah asked here, when does baby in the womb get its soul? At conception or at birth?
From speaking to me guides and playing back recordings of me guides talking, it can happen at any time. Okay. But what they've said is that the child chooses the mother, chooses the parents. Okay. And what they've said is that at the point of conception, that is when the spirit most joins. Okay. But realise, for those that are parents here, that your children chose you before they came to earth. Because they chose you for what you could give them, what they could learn from you, what experiences they would share with you.
Yeah, I remember when my daughter was 2.5, 3, and I told her off, and she turned around and she looked me straight in the face. She says, "I knew I should never have picked you."
Wow. Wow.
So as I say, I've always wondered, you know, when they do get the spirit put in them, sort of thing, you know, are they born, is the soul with them at conception, or as I say, does it enter the body at some point or at birth, or, you know, it's just
Yeah,
always been a
from what my
question.
guy, because I play back the videos of the trances, and sometimes people write down the questions and answers for me,
Mhm.
but it's used, from what my guides have said, it's usually at the point of conception or in the first 3 months of life.
Mhm.
Okay, but what they've gone on to say is sometimes the spirit will come into the physical just to touch on the earth, just to touch in the physical, to get used to the physical, you know, and sadly that's when we get, you know, like babies passing away and things like that. But
Mhm.
to any mother and father that sadly had that happen to them, know that they were chosen, and that that baby chose, or that spirit of that baby chose to have that experience with them.
Mhm.
Okay, and that, you know, with love. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, yeah. As I say, it was just a question that I'd always wondered about, you know. So
Yeah,
thank you.
it's the same sort of question as when does the spirit leave the body? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Yeah, on death. And I've been told by my guys that it could take hours or it could be a split second. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It depends on whether the spirit's ready to leave yet. You know?
Yeah, true. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for speaking to me. Lovely question. Thank you.
And we have Donna Donahy. I'm sorry if I don't pronounce it right, but the question is, when is the best time for spiritual connection?
The best time for spirit connection? Well, anytime, really. Anytime. You know, we're all thought and energy, aren't we? It all makes up, and we're all connected. Everything's connected, and you know. But if you're talking about like in circle, or you just want to sit and meditate, I would say pick a time once a week, all right, and sit regularly at that time and be comfortable when you're doing it. A lot of people think that you should sit rigidly and do these breathing exercises. You know, if you're comfortable swinging from the lampshade, that's what you do. All right, but preferably sitting on an armchair or something like that. Okay. And it is very true that we have to create the conditions for spirit to be able to communicate in. Okay. So when you've created that time to sit once a week with spirit, what I would suggest is what a lot of people call sitting in the power. But what I would suggest is by quietening your thoughts and quietening your heart and just realizing that it's only you that makes the noise, and just allow yourself to sense the natural peace that is all around us. And when we communicate with spirit, we don't matter. If we're giving messages to others, we don't matter. So we remove ourselves out of the equation, our thoughts, our memories, everything like that, so that we can be a clear channel for spirit. Okay? So, but if you're sitting for them to guide you, what I would say is, you know, realize that it's only us that makes the noise, realize that we naturally have peace all around us, and quieten ourselves enough to get the sense of that peace that's all around us and absorb it into us. Okay, because spirit truly are in that moment, and just fill yourself up with love, because spirit come from a loving vibration. They come from a realm of unconditional love. So we've got to create the environment that we're connecting in as loving as possible. and that's from within ourselves. So removing any negativity or bitterness that we got, or even if we've had a bad day, putting all that to one side to allow spirit to communicate with us. Does that answer your question?
It does. I mean, it's more on the lines of getting guidance from spirit. I was just wondering if there was, you know, a time of the day that would be easier, but you've more or less answered that. You pick a time or you pick a good day and
Yeah, pick a time, and then your inspirers can link to that. You know what I mean? And but the best time for spirit to communicate is in the early hours of the morning, because we're more at peace.
right.
We're
Okay.
asleep, we're resting. But I don't want you to stay awake all night.
Well, I do
Okay.
tend to wake up about 3 o'clock sometimes, so
Yeah, but have a time with spirit that's sort of practical, like like 8 o'clock in the evening, something like that. But for guidance, you have to remove any aches, pains, worries, woes from yourself,
okay.
and clear your mind yourself, and just allow that peace that's natural all around us to fill you. And then you can send out your thoughts to your guides. Please draw close. Please inspire, guide me. Okay.
Thank you. God bless.
And I'll give you a little tip. With spirit communication, we use our whole selves. So don't expect a big flash of light and a Native American to be standing there in front of you. All right. It can come in a thought, it can come in a feeling, it can come in an image. Okay. Or it can come through your intuition. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So be prepared for it to come in any way, because spirit are finding the best way to communicate with you as you're trying to find to communicate with them.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. God bless you.
Yeah, and you.
Then we have a question from Madeline Sveifer. I'm so sorry. Anyhow, it says like this. The question she has is, what is your guide's take on me writing a channel book? Madeline, you might explain that more.
A channel book? You mean automatic writing?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, what I want to say to you is automatic writing, you don't hear so much of it about. So somebody that's doing it is brilliant. What I would say to you is go for it.
Okay.
It's a form of spirit communication. What's your name?
Madeline.
Right, Madeline. I've done automatic writing many moons ago, because I asked at that time, I was asking spirit certain questions. But what I would say to you is find yourself a time of the day to sit. My guide's smiling at me now. All right. A set time of the day to sit, and just relax your hand with a pencil or pen for writing. Or if you're at a keyboard, just relax yourself and just type what thoughts come into your mind. But I would say go for it, because what I want to say is that spirit will really want to bring forward their teachings of universal life, of eternal life,
Okay.
or a
Okay.
story of a spirit coming into the physical life.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All
Okay.
right. And
Yeah.
Red Cloud's smiling at me now. So yeah. All right. So yeah, go for it.
Okay. Thank you, Stephen. Thanks.
Some of my poems are inspired, you know, and they nag me to write them. So, you know, bless you. Thank you, Madeline.
Thank you, Stephen.
Stephen,
Yeah.
there is a question about Ukraine here. Is there anything you would like to answer, or shall we take the question after that?
I could continue answering questions. It's not a problem.
Okay. Then we have, it was Kay Cook who asked the question here. Is there anything you would like to say on the progression of the war in Ukraine? Hopefully it will not persist much longer. Do you have?
I just feel, so I don't like giving futuristic messages, because individually and collectively we all have the power to change that. But I'm just feeling for Spirit, and Spirit have said this for quite some time through me, is that the world's going through a great change, and that people are realizing now that we should all be pulling together, not fighting each other. And the war in Ukraine is a very big example of this. Russia is being the bully. Okay.
Yeah.
For want of a better way of putting it. And, you know, but I just get this strong feeling another few months. Okay. But I felt strongly from Spirit for quite some time that Putin, one way or another, Putin won't be involved. Either the Russian people will get rid of him, or he'll depose himself. So, somewhere along the line, he's not in it.
Okay.
All right, but I just think, you know, opposition to Russia is mounting, you know, and hopefully diplomatically this war can end soon. I would say over the next few months.
Okay. Thank you for that answer.
But it's all
Laura Jo-
part of the, like the human race is learning. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Thanks, Sheila.
I had to ask you, Stephen, because of the political agenda of it. Not everyone would like to answer that kind of questions. So therefore,
Well, I do, because I give it from Spirit. Spirit are non-political anyway.
yeah.
You know, I've
Thank
got
you.
my own thoughts, but, you know, I don't want everybody fighting because they think Russia should do what they do, because they shouldn't. All right. But anyway, I'll shut up now. All right.
Okay. We have a question from Laura Jones. Are Spirit bringing new ways of teaching forward?
Yes. They've been doing that since time immemorial. It's up to us to be open and aware enough and be willing to progress enough to receive those teachings. Well, let's face it, they've been teaching about love since year dot, but have we listened as a human race? No, we haven't, have we? So, you know, it's up to us individually. I think as spiritualists, we have a lot of power if we put into practice what Spirit are teaching us. You know what I mean? And raising the vibration of the human race. You know, we have to practice what we preach, or what we teach even. Yeah. Does that answer your question, Nigel? But be open and aware to newer guides, newer teachings, but the human race as a whole hasn't got through the basics yet. But definitely newer ways of communication, you know, and it's like with physical mediumship, they're now producing phenomena in daylight, which at one time would have been seen as impossible, you know. But we have to put Spirit teachings into practice for them to have any effect.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Sorry about my year-old, but
We have a question from Jacob van
turned it right
Hooser.
up. Yeah, go on.
The question is, I would like to know what my soul name is. What do you call me in spirit?
You know what? I wouldn't have the foggiest. My guide would have to be here for that.
Yeah, I
All
need to
right.
ask you the question. I'm reading every question here.
But what I do know from Spirit is that names are immaterial, and that Spirit only show themselves in a physical image just purely for recognition.
Yeah.
They recognise each other by frequency, by vibration. They don't recognise me as a 5'10" bald-headed man. They recognise me by my aura, by the predominant colour in my aura, which is sapphire blue. We all have a recognition colour. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's my vibration or my energy, my frequency, what spirit recognise me by. Okay. And that's the same for everybody. And I assume that would be the same in spirit. I've always been told by spirit that names are immaterial, so I can't really answer that question.
Yeah. We understand. We have an interesting question here from Deborah Mandelli. You have mentioned before about soul contracts. Do people sometimes have soul contracts or to do evil or bad things so that we can learn from the acts on earth?
Yeah, what I think is not only from what my guides have said, but watching NDE programs as well. All right, yeah, this is a big question. And let's get you on full screen. This is a big question because we could be talking about this one question for hours and hours and hours. Yes, I do. Whoever asked that question, right?
Thank
What
you.
I say is, we know we don't. Oh, hello.
Hello.
We
That was
don't
me who
only
asked that
learn
question.
from those who come to love us. We learn from those who come to hurt us as well, in whichever way, because that hurt that we feel, or that physical pain that we feel, is teaching us something. All right. Actually, my Oriental guide, Lee, he stepped forward and he's reminded me of something. Okay. People suffer for their soul progression as part of their contract. So if one day you're as fit as a flea, but the next day you've got terminal cancer, you're learning through all that experience. Okay. If somebody's horrible to you, you're learning through that experience. But I think the question was, do some come to be horrible? And I would say yes, because we're all in a group of souls, aren't we? Have you heard of soul groups?
Yes,
Okay.
I have. Yeah.
Right. Well, our spirit guides are in our soul group as well. Okay. Now, it's decided who's coming to Earth and who's coming back with us and what part they're going to play in our life and what lessons are needed to be learned. Okay. So what I can say is some people do come back to hurt us in one way or another. But then that comes into the point of being about life review when we go to spirit and our lives are reviewed. Whether we like it or not, we do hurt people, whether it's intentionally or not. Okay. But we are shown these times, we are taken to those times in our life review. And in our life review, and we actually feel the pain of the people we've hurt so that we get the understanding of how much we've hurt them and why. So it's a two-way thing. You think that the person doing the hurting is the stronger one, they're not. But it's part of their purpose to aid our soul progression as part of our soul contract.
Interesting. I also
Ours
thinking
is
on a
how to
bigger
overcome
scale.
the hurt. Sorry, your mouth's going, but I can't hear you.
Oh.
All right, I'll hold the phone up to my ear hole in a
I
minute.
was thinking also on a bigger scale, people like Putin who have a more, global impact.
Oh, for people like that, yeah.
With
Well,
the
he's
pain
actually
and
teaching the world a
destruction.
great lesson, believe it or not. Because the one good thing that's coming out of all that is that a lot of countries are pulling together to help the Ukraine.
Yeah.
All right. When I was an infantry soldier way back in 1976, we trained to fight Russian troops. Okay. And we was told that if the Warsaw Pact attacked, the average infantry soldier had 4 days life expectancy, because they just had so much more people, more tanks, more everything. But from the way things are going with the war in Ukraine, I don't think you could say that now. You know what I mean? Because the Ukraine are making headway.
Mm.
And are you Ukrainian, may I ask?
Me? No.
No, well, any Ukrainian has my full support. You know what I mean? But yeah, there are people who come to Earth like Putin and Hitler and anybody like that who come to teach this world lessons. After the Second World War, NATO was formed so that we would never have another war.
Yeah.
Do you like Shakespeare?
No, not especially.
Yeah, or to take up arms against the sea of troubles. You know, and that's the stage where NATO was put in after the Second World War, so that to make sure we didn't have a war, but we've got a choice to take up arms against the sea of troubles, and that's what's happening with Putin. Anyway, there's a guy here that's trying to ask a question. I'll shut up now. Thanks for talking to me. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Stephen,
Yeah, could you repeat that question, sir?
Stephen, we have to close it down here, but we have 3 questions now that I'm going to read those 3 for you.
Yeah.
And then we're closing down for the evening. Colin has texted 2 questions here, and we have Leanne as well. So I'm reading all the questions now. Do you sense the activity around your throat area when spirit manipulates your voice box? And Colin also asked,
yeah, can I just say my throat gets tighter? Yeah. Yeah, go on.
And Colin also asked, could you please explain what the difference is, as you referred to earlier, what that is between normal trance and deep trance? And
There's
Leanne,
many different levels of trance. Okay. The trance that I was in just now was a control. They're working me like a dummy. Okay. But you get the real deep trance, like physical, where spirit uses the physical energy of the medium to create phenomena. Okay, that's in a real deep state of consciousness. What I feel when I'm in trance, I feel like I'm about an inch tall within myself, and spirit work me like a dummy. Okay, but deep trance is where the consciousness of the medium is totally removed outside into spirit. Okay. Right, yeah, go on. What's the last question?
The last is from Leanne. Can spirit enter your physical body to heal you, as I witnessed this?
Yes, they can. I mean, I've been working as a healer for the last 45 years. And whether it's through a healing channel, if you are aware enough, you can activate your physical body. Your physical body has a lot of healing properties in it. And it's what you feed your physical self as well, what foods you eat as well. But yeah, it's our state of mind that we can activate things in our physical body that will help to heal us. Okay. And spirit can enter through their energy, or spirit energy, healing energy, to create the healing by healing through the chakras. Okay. And I hope that answers the questions.
Yeah. I would just like to give everyone now a little bit of a reminder for this evening. And I'm not sure if everyone remembers it, but anyway, Stephen has published 2 books, and you can find them on Amazon. And he has even a coffee time on Facebook, on your Facebook page.
Yeah, on my spiritual page, which is Stephen Rowlands, Trance Healer and Medium, Spirit Divine. I'm doing
Yeah.
a coffee time with the lovely Teresa Reynolds at 11 a.m. this Saturday.
Yeah. And it is a very interesting time. So please join there and ask your questions if you have something. So that is all for me. So thank you, Stephen. And if you can give us a closing prayer.
Yeah, sure. Right,
Thank you so
just one
much.
second. I'll shout it out because I know. I just wish the sound was better. Right. Great Spirit of light and love, angels, guides, loved ones, we thank you for drawing close to us this evening. We thank you for your love, your guidance and your healing. I would like to ask for a blessing on each and every head and home represented here tonight, that may it go. I would like to ask for a blessing on each and every head and home represented here tonight, that they can walk forward in life in your love, your care and your teaching. I also ask that any power that's been created here tonight, may it go from this place to be used to heal and uplift wherever it may be needed. Amen.
Thank you, everyone. And Veronica, an announcement for next week.
Oh, Stephen, that was great night. Thank you.
I think it is Christine.
I think, yeah,
And
apologies
Christine
for
Stewart
me
doing
guys
flower
not being able
readings.
to answer the
Yeah.
questions, so apologies.
And next week it's Christine Stewart with flower readings.
Yeah.
So
You know,
but we're
Stephen.
back on our normal Zoom.
Yeah, and Stephen Rowland, he is so welcome back with a new trance evening for us. So yeah.
Yeah, if Veronica wants to book me, that would be great. You know, would love to.
And if